Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. Today we have a new episode and we start with this preview. And next we have the unboxing. I like it that the box is very compact. Here we can see some of my sizes. Here I have a closer shot with this label. Pause the video where you need. Nothing else in the box. The color of this upper is an off-white. We can see here both sneakers, and as always we're gonna start with the left foot. I check both because I want to know if the quality is consistent or not. Here we can see how thick is this midsole and a comparison with Ultraboost 5. As you can tell, the change wasn't too big. From Ultraboost 5 to Ultraboost 22 are almost the same values, and I always felt that they should have a bit more midsole, I mean thicker than this. Here we can see a mesh upper, very different from what we can see usually in Ultraboost 22 or Ultraboost 5, even Ultraboost 1. We can see here that the exterior of the toe box is reinforced with some nylon. I wonder if you remember this nylon from other sneakers. Let me know in the comments below. In this shot we can see the logo on the tongue. As you can tell, around the instep we have a very thick nylon strap, and the purpose of that one is to secure our feet inside a bit better. As you can tell, here we have a different construction. We don't find the regular cage that we see it in all the Ultraboost models. Here is different, so it should be a bit more comfortable, this one. On the back of the heel we find the same kind of nylon that we can find in the toe box. You can see it here, and it has rubberized stitching, that blue stripe. Here again we have a closer shot with this nylon strap. Here I decided to check with my thumb how soft or rigid is this midsole. I can tell you that is exactly the same like in Ultraboost 22, more rigid than Ultraboost 1 and 5. And I also discovered this. To be honest, this is the first time when I find this kind of cracking in Adidas sneakers, and in all the sneakers that I tried so far on this channel, this is the first time with this pair. Now, of course, it's normal from time to time to find an issue, you know, doesn't matter the brand or the model or anyway, but they are $220 or euros, you know, this is not cheap, so the quality control, they should have much better attention with these kind of sneakers. We are humans and we all make mistakes, but when you buy your next pair, if you choose to be this one, be sure you check this thing. Maybe it's not a thing in all of them, but it might happen to you also, so be sure you pick a good pair if you buy them from store or even online. If you are not happy with them, just ask for a return and that's it. I personally never liked this new torsion system because I always felt that I lost comfort and cushioning having more plastic under my toe box. Here we can see the insole. This one is very thin in comparison with the one from Supernova, for example. This one has 2 or 3 millimeters, so very thin. I mean, don't get me wrong, this one is soft, but the problem is it's too thin and it doesn't make a difference, you know. When it's thicker, you gain in cushioning, so. Here we can see the internal label. I can see that Japan has the same size like my feet have in general, I mean. In less words, the Japanese sizing is closer to the size of my feet, so that's more real. Same footbed like in Ultraboost 22, made with some textile material and reinforced with some synthetic fibers, which I didn't like it because it's too hard for my feet. And here we have the right foot and the external labels. We're gonna see them in just a second. Here we can see that the label on the tongue changed. Now it's not Adidas and PARLEY, now it has North Atlantic Ocean. The greenish cord seems to be very rugged, so I think it will last. Here we can see the external labels. You can pause the video where you need. Here we can have a closer look to these laces. I think they are well made, they look robust, so I think they will last. Here we can see again the sole, same like Ultraboost 22, like I said before. In this particular one I didn't find that problem with the squeaking or the cracking, call it the way you want. Here it wasn't the case, so I guess it's good that I'm checking both, because if I took one, whatever, left or right, I might had chances to not find that problem, you know. So I had like 50-50. This is the name of the new torsion system. Like I said, I don't like it. It's just a piece of plastic, basically, that blue color. If it was carbon, maybe it was something different, like a carbon plate, you know. But for a piece of plastic, I don't see the point. And with this price tag, again, other sneakers have carbon plates, so what is so hard? Although that heel sounded quite stiff, I didn't have issues. Again, we can see here the internal label and the size of these laces. The tips are a bit thin, but they are stiff enough, and the elasticity of these laces is good exactly the way it is. Again, we can see here the interior. I already said that it's a bit too hard for my feet and I didn't like it much. In the shot we can see how elastic is this upper. I personally didn't have any issues with that. It seems to be elastic enough, stretchable, and also very airy. Here we can see how thick is this padding on the tongue. It's not much, it's okay, and I think it's somewhere around half an inch or 1 centimeter. Here we have a better shot with this tongue. Here we can see that is half gusseted tongue. And now some measuring. We want to see how are the insoles and outsoles. Here we have the weight test and some comparisons with other sneakers. Here I'm checking these insoles. They are larger than they are saying they are, like you see there. I like to use my thumb to check if they are my size or not. These ones are for me true to size, like most of the Adidas seen in this channel. My feet are wider than these insoles, but that's okay because I do have extra space inside of that sneaker, so it's not an issue. Here you can see a bit better the kind of instep that I have and the arch that I have. This shot here is in real time just to see how much time I need to get them inside, and I personally didn't find any issues with this design. I like it. Only the tongue I feel that is a bit too narrow for my feet, you know, because this way they are forcing me to tie them a bit more than I like to have my sneakers, so that's why we need a wider tongue, you know. The design is not bad, but just change that tongue, make it a bit wider. So my first impression with them on my feet, exactly the same like Ultraboost 22. They are rigid, I don't see any improvement. Ultraboost 1 and 5, they are much better in cushioning in my opinion. And not to mention that they are much expensive, these ones, so yeah. And here we have another shot, a bit more wider this time, to be able to see them just a bit better. And while I was moving around, I noticed one thing, that I didn't had this issue with other sneakers from Adidas. In these sneakers, because they don't lock our feet inside the way they should do it, I find it myself having my toes right at the end of the sneaker, like they wouldn't be in my size, but they are in my size, you know. The problem is that the feet inside, they are sliding till the end of the sneaker, because that cage, or call it the way you want, on the instep doesn't secure my feet, and that's a big issue for me, you know. I didn't have this problem before, and now I have it with them. And finally we have some on-feet shots from a lower angle. This way you can see better the kind of cushioning that they have, profile, the silhouette. So moving around with them on my feet, they just make me realize how much I miss that cushioning that I have in Ultraboost 5, for example, or Ultraboost 20. I miss that kind of cushioning. This one is rigid. I don't feel it. It's like it's not there, you know. Even though you see that much foam, the cushioning is not there. At least for me, it's not enough this way. They are poorly made, to be honest. So I think it came the time for pros and cons. Well, for pros, I don't know, different design, but not much better. I don't see any pros, sorry, what can I say? I thought I would like this design. I was almost 75% sure that I would like more this design. And in theory, they should be that way, but they have issues, you know, they didn't make them well. So although I enjoy it, a different kind of upper, but the feet, they are not secure enough inside. So I gained one thing from one side and lost from other side, you know. For cons, plenty of them. The weight, same like Ultraboost 22. Way more expensive. I don't see why, because they are the same or worst, somewhere in between. And there are better sneakers out there, you know. I don't see the point for these sneakers. That's my truth, you know, my ugly truth. You might not like it, but that is the way I feel, you know. And if you buy them, you'll see it yourself. Like I said, I wanted to like them, but I can't. They are not well made, you know. They should change them. Take the time to make a good pair, you know. It's like they are rushing so much and they are not able to bring a good product, you know, on the market. Always with this rush, you know, to make new model. Yeah, you come with new model, but is better. Bring something good. People will buy it, but bring something good. Take your time. Always with this rush, you know, to bring more models. Well, this is how I feel. I think I will end here this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know if you noticed, but now I have a super thanks option on my channel. So if somebody is interested, you can go ahead and make a donation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Take care of you and have a nice day.